Well, just to get going here, just a recorder's report from Paul Rabitsky, and there was I think a late, or I don't know if it's an overwintering eastern peewee. Then in South Tulsa, somebody had actually two of them. Bill Carroll had a peregrine falcon down around Cityplex Towers by ORU, and Zach Poland had a western grebe out on Keystone Lake. And I do know that Steve Metz had some crossbills there in those pines. I'm assuming those pine trees below the dam. He had some really great photos of those. Anything else anybody been seeing that's notable?
A lot of pine siskins still coming through our house.
Yep.
Yeah, yep. Anybody getting purple martins?
We had three.
Not purple finches, I meant.
Purple finches, you mean?
We had three at Oxley on the first Saturday, and also had a Phoebe also.
Oh,
Three
okay.
males, three male purple finches at Oxley on first Saturday.
Good, good.
I had two. I should have sent those. I should have included those in my slides.
Yeah. Because I've been
had
looking,
some
haven't seen any.
Yeah, I probably am seeing Marys. They come over here too. So
Okay.
Have there been any red-breasted nuthatches around?
Yes, I've had.
Yep.
we got
Yes,
I've
we
seen 'em.
had at least two in our yard for over probably 2 months now. If anyone wants to see him, you can usually see him.
I'm in Muskogee, and I've had probably two. Haven't seen them for about a week or so, but they were here earlier.
Yeah, I saw him today.
Cool. Very cool.
Okay. Is there so we got Christmas count coming up? We're not doing Eagle Days this year, but we are hoping to do a live Zoom with the Raptor Center. I think it's down in Florida. I can't remember the name of the organization, but we're working on getting them lined up for our February Audubon meeting.
Yeah, John, that's all set.
It is all set. Oh, you want to tell us about it? Since why don't you go ahead and tell us about January too while you're talking here.
Well, January program is going to be a guy from Quail Forever, and they're going to talk about their conservation ranching program or conservation beef, where they encourage ranchers to operate their lands and manage it such that it's good for birds as well as for grazing. And that all plays into that beef then being sold as a not organic, but as nature-friendly beef, kind of its own little kind of brand. So it's good for the market. It's good for the cattle, of course, and it's good for birds too. And several organizations are doing the similar things, but he's going to talk to us about that in January.
That's Audubon. That's Audubon. They've contracted out to Quail Forever, but that's an Audubon program here in Oklahoma.
Yeah, they're the implementers. And in February, we're going to have the Raptor Center in Florida. That's an Audubon group also. And they're going to have 3 live raptors that they will have in a show for us. Just a regular Zoom program as well.
So you get to see something other than cats and dogs in a Zoom meeting.
That's good.
Yeah, but the cat now, your cat may be interested in attending the meeting because there's going to be birds on the screen. So
Big bird.
Good point.
yeah, so we may get a lot of cats watching along with you guys. Okay, is there any other business stuff to talk to before we go into pictures? Okay, guess not. So,
Oh, there we go.
Now the picture.
No.
can you guys see that?
Yep.
Yep.
Yeah.
Pop forward like that.
When they're talking.
Okay.
They're talking.
Okay, so let me see if I can control this now. There we go. So I was going to put names on these, and I was restarting my computer before the meeting started, and it took me 20 minutes before my computer completely rebooted, and I was able to actually do anything. So I didn't get to add names. So is this Karen's picture?
That's my picture, yeah. Can you hear me?
Okay. Yes, we can.
Okay, yeah, that was over at the neighborhood just west of 68th and Memorial by the Walmart. He was just sitting up there in the tree, just, chilling. So I stopped and took his picture. I was back in like late February.
He's a nice looking guy.
He was. He was. I was just walking very quietly up to him, going, "Okay, I'm just going to take your picture. You're a pretty bird. Please don't hurt me." And that's me taking the picture from the backside because he turned around and looked at me. He watched me the whole way. So I just thought he was a pretty bird.
What was that garden?
We've had two red shoulders at our bird feeder. Just they one of them flies in. He'll just perch on the top of the hanger where the bird feeders are hanging from.
Well, he was sitting right over like a mailbox. So I wondered if he was just waiting for a bird to land on the mailbox.
Karen, at the Audubon garden tour, I watched a hummingbird chase a red-shouldered hawk all through the neighborhood.
Oh, wow.
Wow.
He came flying through real fast, and there was a little hummingbird right behind him chasing him.
Hummingbirds are bulldogs in a little bird body.
I
Yeah.
love it. I love it.
So
Oh,
beautiful.
sweet.
Okay, so this is Angie and Tom. This is your picture?
Yeah, I just thought this would be an easy identification for somebody. Who knows what it is?
It's an
I do.
eastern
It's not from
bluebird.
this continent.
That's the European robin.
Right.
That's it. That's it.
That's not around.
That was the only.
Oh,
picture
you didn't take
I
that
could come
around
up-
here.
That was
Yeah.
somewhere near Barcelona.
Oh,
And it just came up so close to me, I had to take its picture.
Pretty.
Yeah.
Oh.
That's
Where
a
did-
pretty picture. Pretty
Very
bird.
Where did you say?
In near Barcelona.
Okay, Barcelona. Okay.
In the mountains. So pretty common bird. I knew somebody would know it.
Mhm.
bluebird.
Yeah,
Well,
we
I-
got.
Heard that unfortunately
Oh.
appears often on a
An
local.
adult
I'm just
picture.
a Jesper.
Is that an
It's
adult?
just-
That's our shot as well. That's our little budgeringer, the Benedetto. She's having some adult beverages with the rest of us tonight.
Okay, good.
looks like a harps or a Smitic spear. Is that right?
We just know her as Cat Smart Parakeet.
No, I'm talking about the beer. Sorry, I was looking at the beer.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah, we're now on to
Actually,
the beer ID.
I think that is a dead armadillo red ale or something like that.
Excellent.
He likes the hoppy ones.
Parakeet with good taste.
He likes hoppy. Discerning.
Thank you.
Parakeet.
Yeah. Well, thanks for sharing those. These are in Roy now, right? These yours?
Yeah. This is, at least I think it's a Cooper's hawk. I haven't had confirmation from anybody yet, but it's juvenile and it's been hunting along our fence. I live along Battle Creek Golf Course, and it's been hunting here frequently. You can see it here with a crawdad. I've got photos with a garter snake in its mouth. I've got photos with mice in its mouth. And I've seen the parents, but I've not been able to get pictures of them.
I would say it's a Cooper's.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's got pretty
If
big
that
legs, fat
Around
legs.
here, if it nested around here, it would be a Cooper's. Sharp chin. I do think they have nested in Oklahoma, but it's very rare. Coopers are not uncommon nesting birds, even in central Tulsa.
Well, maybe you can help me though. The interesting thing was before he started to eat this crawdad, he coughed up a fur ball like a cat, and of undigested food, I guess, and was making room for his next meal. Well, it was a pellet or something like that.
Well,
Right.
yeah, owls are well known for coughing up pellets, but a lot of raptors do because they, if they swallow prey whole, then, rather than sending all that stuff all the way through the digestive system, they just cough it back up.
Okay. Interesting.
Yeah. Birds are just ever so.
Cancel.
Our dog is typing on the keyboard.
Oh.
What's writing?
I want to chase that bird, huh?
Nice
Okay, well, that's
picture.
great. That's a great picture.
That's a great
Crawdad,
picture, yeah.
Good. Ooh.
Now, we just moved here from Maine in August, and back in Maine, my son had given me this nesting material holder, and we just could not keep it full. I was amazed at all the birds that use this thing.
Really? Oh, wow. That's interesting. That's a great picture.
Yeah, I would caution to make sure you're using natural materials in those. It's a great idea, but anything with dye in it or synthetic materials, and even like cotton when it gets wet and it shrinks, it can cause problems. So, but like
Okay.
that straw, that kind of stuff is great.
But even cotton, you're saying, because my wife quilts, and so she has a lot of batting material that she has left over that I shred up. And
I mean, if I guess if it's shredded, I mean, cotton is probably safer than. 'Cause I don't know how much it would shrink.
okay,
But just
great,
yeah,
thanks.
just do some online research and see what. I was just reading about this a couple of weeks ago, but yeah, anything that gets birds where you can see them and enjoy them, I'm all for. But yeah, you just like anything, you got to do some research and find out
Understand.
what's the best way to do it. Yeah, but cool picture.
Yeah, it's another great picture.
Is that a homemade job?
Bluebird, right?
Pardon?
Was that a homemade sort of job, or was that something you bought?
That was something that my son had bought and sent me.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, those kinds of things are, I imagine Wild Birds Unlimited or, they're commercially available.
Yeah.
Looks like it's got a decoration on the one side of it.
We don't have the holders, but we do carry nesting material balls, things like that. But we don't have any.
Oh yeah, Karen would know.
I typically use a different material for my hummingbird nesting material. So,
Okay.
Nesting material for them too.
yeah. So this is another thing that I bought from the wild bird store, is that this little cup that I put the mealworms in, and I just thought it was interesting, this wee little eastern bluebird here with about 4 of them in his mouth.
Yeah. Yeah. Are those live or
No, they're dried.
dried ones? Okay.
Put some of those out while
What a pig.
little.
What a pig.
fried ones.
Pretty.
Beautiful.
Downy.
Yeah, the downy, and that's the other thing, is I have these pieces of wood that I will put seed and peanut butter or butter bark in, and attract the woodpeckers, but everything else pretty much eats from these things too. So it's a real nice area for me to do photography.
Yeah, nice.
That's good.
That's a really nice photo. I like that.
Yeah, these are really good. Was this one taken here or in Maine?
No, that one's in Maine, but I was over on the Forest Ridge Golf Course and saw, I don't know. I stopped counting the number of downy woodpeckers and hoary woodpeckers over there.
Yep, we got our fair share here. Okay, Mary, you want to
Oh,
talk about these?
all right. Well, this is from, I just did a whole bunch of stuff from Tulsa Audubon. So this is from Eagle Days last January. This was out on the bridge, the pedestrian bridge, where we had a whole bunch of people out looking at bald eagles. So that was what we were looking at, was the nest. And see, there's two adult bald eagles on that. So this is digiscoped. I did not do this. I think Sienna did this for me, or Josh. So using my camera or using my phone and my scope. So, but that's what everyone was looking at that day. And that was the golden eagle that we had brought in for Eagle Days. That was a Potawatomi Indian tribe that brought their golden eagle in. So
Hopefully we'll have them back in 2022.
yeah. So, and then that was just from the, that was a cute pic that I got where a father and son were getting their wingspan done. So
I think maybe that was that from when we were at the gathering place?
no, this is from Eagle Days last year also.
Okay.
Yeah. I did all these were from 2020. So. And this is from the one spring work day that we did out at Flycatcher Trail. So this is some of the kids out there that were carrying out. I didn't realize I'd sent this one. All right, we're carrying out some of the trash that we pulled out from the garden that day. And this is from the fall. This is where we were, I think that's Eileen's hands there that's handing the girl the tag to put on the monarch butterfly. So you can see she's wearing a mask. So this is from this fall. And we did one of our days with the students out there. Maybe October, I think it was in October or November actually, before we finally did another work day where the kids were there and everyone was wearing masks. So. Next.
Yeah, I'm trying.
Okay.
It's not letting me. Oops.
Oops. Okay.
Okay, there we go. Now, okay, there we go.
All right. So this is also up from Flycatcher Trail. I don't know. I don't remember, Jay. I don't know if you know what type of moths or critters those are. Huh?
Giant leopard moth.
Giant leopard moth. Okay, you can see there's two there. So this is also from last spring. And so this is from last March or April. Or maybe the summer. I don't remember which.
That's a cool moth. I don't know if I've ever
There's
seen
two.
one of those.
There's two of them. They're playing some hanky-panky there.
Okay, yep.
Whoopee.
Yeah. So this is from the spring too. They're not wearing masks. So this is from the spring where we're planting that front flower bed. So I think, Julia, that may be you. Maybe, I don't know. Sorry. So those are some students either from Union. We've had some students from Union actually help lately too, the Key Club, but those could be Jink students. I don't remember which.
I think that's me.
Yep.
You have to, you know.
Which one? Which one, Julie? The blue shirt, the black shirt, or the white shirt?
The white shirt with the club in the air.
Well, I've got one kind of like with Ron like that too. So you're not the only one. Sorry.
That's your gardening position.
And this is from the summer. This is our Purple Martin house out at Flycatcher Trail. And there were like 18 of them on there, I believe. I think I was able to count. So so this is our first Purple Martin house. And I just took the picture because when I was out there during the summer out there working, I mean, that was really fun to have all the Purple Martins there because they were continuously, you could hear them. So they were, providing some background entertainment while we're out there working. So it was fun to watch them out there this summer.
And we've now have a second house out up there, right, with some gourds.
Yep.
For next
Yep.
season.
Yep. I did not send you a picture of that. I have one or two, but yeah.
Yeah. So
So,
we're doubling, more than doubling our colony capacity. So
yep.
Is that all made out of sheet metal?
Yes. And that's a commercial grade one. We bought that 4 or 5 years ago, 6 years ago. I guess 7. That's from 2013. It's one of the first things we put up. So Todd's done a good job of maintaining it and helping repair things on it as necessary. So
How high up in the air does it have to be?
I think it's 14 feet, maybe. Yeah, the
Oh,
line.
so it's pretty far up there.
So we have a fairly large area there. Plus, we're also close to the river, which helps. So
there's a
those
pulley
lines-
system built into the pole, you know, to lower it down to maintain it.
Yep.
Nice little condo.
Yes.
Yep.
This is the last public event that we had before we shut everything down. So that is Jeff there talking about John Audubon there. So we had probably 60 plus people at that event that day. So this is at Julius Church, Hope Church.
Oh,
Yeah, there was a good
I
turn
hope
for that. I was.
And I don't know which bird you were referring to there, Jeff. Do you remember?
Probably greater prairie chicken. Yeah.
Yeah.
How they correct but there's no telling with me.
So yeah. So. All right. See, there's Ron. behind shot. So this was when we were at Tallgrass last January, February, and the one pickup that we had was the leeches, and he had a flat tire on the roads out there. So this is where we're all the guys are out there changing the tire. So that's Ron with his back toward us, and that's Matt changing the tire. It didn't take very long. So that's the first time that we've ever had someone have a flat tire on a Tulsa Audubon bird trip that I can remember. And that was a short-eared owl from that trip. Up at Tallgrass.
Cool.
I think that was actually within the Tallgrass Prairie. There was a bison from Tallgrass looking at us.
That's a good
And
shot.
I think one more from that trip. And I think that is a rough-legged hawk on that one, sitting on one of the power poles up there.
No, I think that is a red-tailed hawk.
Is it red-tailed? Okay. Well, rats. I thought I had a rough-legged in there, but maybe not. All right. Sorry.
Got that kind of the whitish V on the back, and
Okay.
looks kind of basically reddish with it's got some barring on it. But
All right.
that's
So, and this is the video I took.
Oh, yeah.
oh yeah, that was so cool.
So you can't hear the sound. Oh well.
Feather Martins.
The chimney swift that street's cool.
Yeah. So I was hoping you could hear the sound on that, John. I guess you can't.
Yeah, I don't know how to get the sound to work on.
Okay.
Is that at
on
Street School
Zoom.
11th and Yale?
Yes. Yeah. This is where they were this last summer.
Oh, wow.
So,
In September thereabouts.
yep.
The
So
night
if you could hear the sound on it, you could hear them a lot. So, but they were quite loud. But
yeah, they were. The night I went, I estimated 2,000, and Mary, I think you thought maybe more than that when you went.
yeah.
But they just kind of swirled around above for several minutes, and then they just started going into the chimney. It'd be, if you had a little recorder camera down in the chimney to see them I just wonder how tightly packed they get in there, because it's pretty amazing sight to watch.
Yeah.
I mean, the purple martins out at the airport are cool, but they're roosting in trees. You can kind of see them, the chimney swifts disappearing into the chimney. And like, how big is that chimney? How many of them? How close
Yeah.
are they?
That's amazing.
It is.
So, yeah, if you could hear the sound on, you could hear them. They were definitely making some noise while they're doing that. So, and they were down there for probably, I don't know, 3 or 4 weeks. So, but that was just the one there.
John, you figured it out.
Yeah.
There's where I go and stop.
Yep. You can hear Julia there in the background.
Where did you watch from?
I watched it from the east side. So there was there was a street on the other side of the school.
Where I go and stop.
Okay.
So I was on that side.
You didn't go into the little parking lot on the school property.
Where was that again? What was the location?
Street school.
11th and Yale.
Yep.
What time of year?
This was September, I believe.
September.
Yeah.
And they've been at different spots. They were, actually Channel 6 called us and asked us what those were. They thought they were bats. Like, no, those are not bats. So, but they've been there. They've been downtown by that Mexican restaurant. There's that old chimney across from it down by One Oak Field.
Uh-huh.
There's a chimney down there kind of in that area, and they've been there too. I don't know if they were there this summer or not, or if they just switched over here. They've been over to Tulsa Garden Center too before in that building right next to the garden center. There's a chimney on that. And they've been in that thing also. So, but this is where I went this year to see them.
Huh. That's really neat.
Yeah, I wish I'd gone to look. I didn't.
Yeah.
Okay.
So that's all I have. Well,
Okay,
if I
I
sent you
think
pictures of the
that's-
purple finches real quick.
Those were good.
Oh, you did? Let me see if I've got a few here. I'm due, and then we've got Jay has got some. I don't have any birds, so I've just got landscapes.
Oh,
But
John.
I know I'm just I am not a bird photographer.
But you could be if you wanted to.
I could be, yeah. If you got an extra spare, well, I should, I can say it's too expensive, but friggin' Lillian Stokes, uses a Canon. She just upgraded to a Nikon Cool Zoom, but all the pictures in all of her books are taken with a Canon PowerShot SX something or other, SX50. So you don't have to have a $20,000 camera and lens to get good pictures. Anyway, this was in Florida before the pandemic hit. I was down there for a show. It's Fern Springs, and
So pretty.
What's the blue on the water?
that's actually the sand. The water is really like perfectly clear,
Yeah.
and I think the water is bubbling up in those areas from the spring, and where it's bubbling up, sand this is white. So the water has got a bluish tint to it, and where it's blue is you're just seeing down to the bottom with the white sand through the water. Anyway, and I do lighthouses, so this was St. Mark's on a wildlife can't remember the name of the it's National Wildlife Refuge now. It's on the grounds of that.
That's pretty.
Yeah. Not much nature about this one, but it was pretty.
Where was that, John?
That was in New Smyrna Beach, the Ponce de Leon Lighthouse, I think was the name of that one. Actually, doing the art show I was doing was in New Smyrna Beach, and then I went out to this time I went out at sunset, sunrise. This was about 3 a.m., 4:30 a.m. just before sunrise.
Wow. It's early.
And you probably all saw this. This was back in the spring.
Yeah.
Had those
Oh,
those clouds.
clematis clouds over us, and this was over this was our house.
Wow.
I like the house. It shows you the perspective, of what, actually pretty scary,
Mm.
But then just moments later, it was right at sunset. And then about 5 minutes later, this is what it looked like.
Oh, wow.
Cool.
That's really
Does
neat.
anybody else have have a subscription to the Cloud Appreciation Society?
No.
They should.
The
They do clouds worldwide. Every day they'll send you a picture, and this made it onto the Cloud Appreciation Society.
Really?
Yeah, there's a lot of good pictures got
Mhm,
people
yeah.
got of these. Have to look into that one.
Right.
And then hopefully you all got to see the comet this spring or this summer.
Yep.
That was over Lake Oolaga.
Wow. He got a comic picture.
So that one, I was pretty happy with how that one came out. I think I went out about 6 or 8 times to shoot it.
That's
And
beautiful.
this was also, on the road to Lake Oolaga. And I thought this was an appropriate scene for a comet shot.
Yes.
Does anybody not know the story of the NASA capsule there?
Yeah.
I don't know it.
I don't.
Well, I don't know, maybe 20 some odd years ago or quite a while ago, a cement truck crashed. This is the road from Highway 169 out to Oolaga Lake and the bridge. And it had a full load of cement. And by the time they came to get it, the cement had hardened in the thing. So they didn't bother getting a crane in to take it away. So it's been sitting there for decades. And quite a while back, some of the locals out there decided to paint it to make it look like a NASA, like a space capsule.
Oh.
So it's a little local tourist attraction,
Oh,
like
how
Route 66 kind of thing.
It
Always
really
want to take a
looks
picture. Yeah, it does. It really does. I've always wanted to get a picture of it, and I thought that with the comet, I thought was pretty good.
That's great. That's great.
Yes. It's perfect.
And that was out up at the Tallgrass Prairie.
Stunning.
That's amazing.
It is.
Really nice.
And this was also, well, this is up on the prairie also. Obviously the 4-acre cemetery. And that was sort of after the comet disappeared, I turned around and took the Milky Way.
Wow.
Those are the big lights of Tulsa and Pawhuska there on the horizon.
Wow.
Incredible.
And these were some cool shots. This was up at Margaret McQuaig's house in Pryor. She called me and wanted me to photograph her fireflies. She said she's just got thousands of fireflies in her backyard.
Oh, it's amazing.
And it really was. And this is like she's been seeing them for several weeks. And I came out there, and this was like the last night that after this night, the weather changed a bit, and then she just didn't have the numbers like she had been having. So that was pretty cool sight.
Story night.
Yeah.
I think we need to go out there on a field trip this year.
I already asked her about that. She said we could.
Oh, good. See, that'd be amazing.
That would be an excellent field trip.
Yeah, she was at the garden tour, and I asked her then, and she said yes.
Good.
Okay.
And that's her backyard. That's the spot down in that lower spot. That's where they were.
Wow.
I mean, I'm just in her, but right behind me is her house, so it's not deep in the woods or anything, and I mean, she's got some property back there, but there's houses all around, so. But anyway, that's pretty neat.
That was.
And this was up in Minnesota. I did go
Wow.
up there to photograph. I did a whole trip up there to photograph lighthouses over the summer. And this was I can't remember the name of the lighthouse, Split Rock. And this was under by moonlight. I took this around 3 a.m. and there was a full moon, and the moon was illuminating, the shoreline and the lighthouse. And then that's from basically the same spot, but after the sun rose. So.
Wow. It's beautiful.
And this was also up on Lake Superior in Michigan, Eagle Harbor Lighthouse. I don't know if anybody on here saw. I had my cell phone. I was live streaming this on Facebook the whole morning, waiting for the sun to rise. Because this was just moments after sunrise. So I was waiting for the sun to hit that lighthouse, but I had a dozen or so people watching it live on Facebook while I was sitting there waiting. And this
Were
is
you
a
in a
big
boat, John? Were you in a boat?
No. There's a little spit of land, a little jetty going out there,
Oh,
sort of
okay.
at the end of that jetty, looking back. But no, I was not on a boat. Very skinny little piece of rock, though.
Mhm.
That's a Big Stable Lighthouse in Michigan, on
Wow.
Lake Michigan, and that was at about 1:30 a.m. And we actually spent the entire night out there, and then that morning after sunrise,
Beautiful sun.
there's the same lighthouse, but at sunrise. And I was up in Colorado, so here's a few fall foliage shots.
Beautiful.
Gorgeous.
Oh my goodness.
Wow.
Yeah, these trees are really crazy.
What happened?
Well, it's hard to get a definitive answer, but I think it's right next to it, like a slide area. But I think it was some avalanches and snow accumulation. Probably there was some avalanche activity there, and the snow, was deformed them, because the snow would sort of gather there probably every spring as it was growing. And there's some
Beautiful.
Mhm.
close-ups. And this I like this one because there's not one aspen tree in this, but it's still super colorful.
Wow.
It's all the scrub oaks and things like that. And there's a scrub oak acorn. And this is Arkansas. That's the Buffalo River, a place called Red Bluff Overlook. I just took that this fall also. Okay, that's it on me.
Very good.
Jay, do you want to go ahead and let me?
You're not going to make me think of that, are you?
Hey, you got birds, so that's good. So.
Yeah, well, I got some birds. Everybody see it okay?
It's good for me.
Okay.
Yes.
Well, this year, it's been a different year for all of us. And things are going to be a lot different over the holidays, and for good reason. But so it's kind of had me reminiscing a little bit about holidays past and what holidays are usually like and what they're probably not going to be like this year. And so in trying to put that in the context of nature, I've always looked at birding as sort of my window into nature overall. And so when I'm out birding, yeah, we see birds and I photograph birds, but other things too, anything else really, mammals, herps, insects, landscapes, whatever. So birding is kind of my window into nature. And so I do get pictures of things other than birds. And this year has been a busy year, but in a different way for a lot of us. We've only got short times to do what we got to do. We got to scurry out like these crabs between the tides and get what you're going to eat and get back home. And we've each had things we've got to do and trying to take care of, but the world is a little bit different around us. So we ended up spending a lot of time at home, a lot of time with family, and that's good. I think for some folks, it's getting a little old, especially when they've got kids. But good time to enjoy our relationships, and especially those with young kids are having to spend a lot of time teaching kids and taking care of kids and trying to work and everything else. So when I think of the holidays, it used to be getting together with the family and with friends. And in my case, it was always at my sister's house in Texas. But this year is going to be different. It was just always good to kind of see everybody together in the house, relatives, in-laws, people didn't see any other time of year.
You're the only one, Jay, that can do that. Eastern tent caterpillars, really?
But now, in COVID days, we've got to socially distance. So everything we do, we've got to socially distance and mask up. So it's going to be a different holiday. So in looking back at some things that remind me of what the holidays were like, there's always the trip to get there, and we all have different ways of getting there. Ground transportation. Boy, the traffic was always terrible on the holidays, Thanksgiving and Christmas. Hated that. But something had to go through to get there. And then some people choose to fly. This was at an airport in New Zealand.
Oh my.
Wow.
That's great.
So I think there's going to be fewer people flying this year, especially this way. And we often bring things with us. Food, we always take some things to the gathering. And I was no exception. I rarely brought fish, but normally something for dessert. So we get to where we're going, and it's good to see everybody and be close again and reacquaint. We might have even brought presents that we exchange, like the male and female hornbill, exchanging this fig here.
Oh.
We spend a lot of time catching up with everybody, spending time finding out what they've been doing and planning what we're doing. Just getting reacquainted again. Some people are much more talkative in those sessions than I am. I've got a cousin that is nonstop. And a lot of jokes, a lot of good times, just really good experience. Once in a while, there can be a disagreement, usually old things that just come up again. And hopefully this year, nobody's talking presidential politics. If there's kids there, they'll often be horsing around inside or outside, depending on the weather. And if there's enough kids, they may go out and play tag football or something in the lawn.
Oh.
Had me a good time with my kids that way. But one of the main things we do is eat. And there's always hors d'oeuvres and candy and snacks around. So you kind of do that along all the time. And it's hard to keep from getting full before dinner's even served. But whatever there is to snack on, it usually gets eaten. But then it's time for the food.
Ooh, pretty.
The food is served and
Mm-hmm.
sit down at the table and have all this stuff.
Hmm.
Then there's that big honking turkey. Oh my gosh, how are we going to eat all that? Well, you just do. Just like that.
Mm. Wow.
And if that wasn't enough, we got to have some stuffing and bean casserole and everything else too. Maybe there's a piece of ham left too. Even the little guys get something to eat. And you know, there's always something there that's a favorite, whether it's something that somebody's always makes. For me, it was always having the cranberry sauce because that's the only time I ever had it was at Thanksgiving or Christmas. In this case, the bee eater likes the bees. Always lots of veggies. That's good for you. Makes you feel a little better about what you're doing at dinner. There's just a lot of food around. Jeez. And you know, you can't be rude and not eat. Sometimes it just feels like it goes on forever. Look at that buffet.
Oh. Oh my gosh.
These birds in India are extremely critically endangered. There's only maybe less than 100 left. And this is one of the places where a few of them hang out at the dump. And after dinner, oh my gosh, feels so very full. Just want to find a place to lay down and relax, chill out. A lot of my family would watch football games. Dallas Cowboys always played. My family's in Texas. So we would watch the Cowboys game. Just getting comfy in our own chairs. Maybe have a fire in the fireplace. Well, here comes that tryptophan from the turkey.
Oh.
Just cannot keep from yawning. Oh, my eyes are getting heavy. I'm trying to fight it, but there's no use. Just got to wink out and take a nap.
Oh.
I'm just gonna sit here quietly and sleep and nobody will know.
Hmm.
Just a little nap. That's all I need. Just close my eyes for a bit. And maybe my head gets to nodding a little bit too. But then when you wake up, there's all those leftovers. And somebody's always asking you, "Hey, want some pie? We've got some cake left." So it's hard not to just stuff yourself again. But eventually the day comes to an end. You got to head home. But it's been a wonderful day getting together with everybody that's near and dear. And part of what goes on there is that usually where we go, it's nicely decorated, you know, tree and lights and decorations and poinsettia plants. And that kind of reminds me of the colors of Christmas, green and blue. And we don't have to just have those around Christmas time. We really have those around all the time. And we see that in nature a lot, of course, especially with the green, with the forests and the grasslands. But there's a lot of places to see red and green in nature. Red shiners in Oklahoma. Piranha, I caught this guy in Colombia.
Mm.
And they may not know it, but they're good to eat despite them being ones to try to eat you.
Hmm.
Sometimes reds are highlights in birds that we see and other things that we see. And there's an ecological, biological reason for that. This particular bird is a Chatham Island oyster catcher. It is one of a pair. And that pair is one of less than 50 in existence in the world.
Mm.
They only live on this one island in the Chatham Islands off New Zealand. So quite an honor to get to see these birds.
Hmm.
Inca tern in Colombia also has a nice bright red beak. And a bright red head for the Magellanic woodpecker in Chile.
Looks like a cartoon bird.
And here close to home at Flycatcher Trail. This is the passion flower flea beetle that was at the Flycatcher Trail just a few weeks ago. There's no missing those colors in nature. Gorgeous crimson rosella in Australia. Southern red bishop in South Africa. Scarlet sunbird in India. The silver or red-billed gull in New Zealand.
So pretty.
American ruby spot right here at home. Not this time of year, but and the woolly bear from the fall. Saw a few of these when I was out walking this fall. So red is a popular color in nature. And we can see it all year long if we just look. Not much of a brighter red than the vermilion flycatcher. Roseate spoonbill has a lot of pink and a little bit of red. We can actually see them down in the corner of the state. The lesser bird of paradise is really using his colors to try to win the heart of a sweetheart. Unfortunately, there's 10 other birds just like him in the tree doing the same thing. Scarlet macaws in Costa Rica, another bright red. Rufous necked hornbill in Borneo. Plain colored tanager, Costa Rica. Aptly named. The red leaf monkey from Borneo. And oddly enough, there's a red variety and a white variety. And there are a lot of plants that are red, of course, like these rhododendrons from New Zealand. We have our own Dillardia, the flame skimmer here in western Oklahoma. Gorgeous red insect. Ginger plant in Ecuador.
Hmm.
There it is before it gets all budded out.
Mm.
Our own northern cardinal, which is around in the wintertime. So it is definitely a reminder of the holidays, right at the right time. Summer tanager, he's somewhere down in South America right now. And the flax plant in New Zealand is a plant that's very popular with the birds and insects for pollination. So with the color green, that's pretty common in nature too. Sometimes it's just a little
Oh, look at this
highlight,
bird.
like on this spotted shag. Sometimes it's a little bolder. New Zealand pigeon. The long-tailed sylph is iridescent. Stunning bird. Green jay in South Texas. That's what my license plate is, green jay. Sometimes that's good camouflage, hard to see. And I don't even know what that plant is. Green milkweed. Green stink bugs, all here in Oklahoma. Western grass green grasshopper, also here. The green filefish that are washed up on the beach in Cozumel, Mexico. Our giant pond hawk. He's a brute. A lot of things are just all green. This malachite sunburn in South Africa is just absolutely luminescent. Green honey creeper in Costa Rica. This is the female. It's actually named after the female. The orange, excuse me, the orange fronted parakeet in New Zealand. This again is an extremely rare bird. It only exists on 2 islands off the coast of New Zealand. And there are maybe less than 200 of them. In New Zealand, a lot of birds have been reestablished because of the non-native mammal predators that had been introduced to the islands, decimated many of the bird populations. So they have removed the mammals from some of the islands and tried to reestablish the birds there. This is one of the beneficiaries of that. Well, what could be better than red and green at the same time? And we get that every spring with the Indian paintbrush. Even better when you got a katydid on it. The collared trogon in Costa Rica, bright green and red. The Cuban trogon. Bird. The Kia parrot in New Zealand. These are very mischievous birds. They will tear the lining or the rubber insulation around your door off your car if you don't cover it with a tarp. Hummingbird clearwing moth, just gorgeous. Our common green anole can be kind of pretty.
Wow.
Even a molting summer tanager, before he's lost all of his green from his youth. And one of my favorite birds, the resplendent quetzal in Costa Rica. This is the female, and you can really see the red and green, just stark colors. And then throw in a little white on the tail for some snow, and you've really got a fall picture. Red-headed barbet in Costa Rica is really spades in red and green also.
Oh.
The king parrot in Australia, another bright red and green guy. The red crowned parakeet in New Zealand, very confiding, ground feeding parakeet. And just the cutest red and green I've ever seen is the Cuban toady. Tiny little bird. And we have
That's not real. That's not real, Jay. Come on.
This is a plastic
You
bird.
bought that at Hobby Lobby, right?
This is a plastic bird that I got for the yard. They call it the painted bone thing. And to close with my favorite bird of all time, the male resplendent quetzal. Ever since I saw a picture of one of these in a National Geographic when I was a little kid over the holidays, that's been my favorite color, favorite bird. So with all those things to think about, other times of the year, we're not going to have the Christmas that we've had before, but we can think about the ones we've had in the past and look forward to reminders of the holiday season when we're going to be out next year around, hopefully. So I want to wish you all the best wishes for the holiday and for a great happy new year.
Whoops.
And just to finish up here, here is Mary's purple finch.
Ooh.
You guys see that?
Hey, yeah.
Wow.
That was at your house?
I was at my house a couple weeks
Cool.
ago. I had purple finches and pine siskins, and then I haven't seen them since. So
So the purple finch is the left one in front
yeah,
for
that's the
anybody.
female.
Yep, that
Female or
heavier.
immature male.
Okay. So yeah. So
And the other two females are house finches?
House finches. And a,
Okay, yeah.
and a male
Jeff,
house.
why don't you tell us how to distinguish, since we are likely to see some of these?
Well, the purple finch, the left one in front is a female purple finch, and you can see it's got the kind of the lighter stripe through the eye and kind of a mustache stripe. So it's got a very strongly patterned face. The house finches, the two female house finches are very, very plain. Their heads are very plain and poorly marked. They just look, to me, they just like kind of bland birds. But the purple finches is strongly marked. The male purple finch has the same pattern, but the color is sort of a rich raspberry purple. More, you see the male house finch in the back there with a bright red, and it doesn't have much facial pattern, but the male purple finch will have that same eye stripe and a darker cheek and a lighter kind of a mustache stripe, but it's more of a richer raspberry, very purple. And then the
almost a wine color.
The house finches are strongly streaked, like the male house finch. You can see below the red on the breast, it has a lot of just brown streaking going down to the belly, which the male purple finch does not have. It might show some faint or indistinct striping along the flanks, but not on the belly. So look for them on Saturday. Don't forget.
Yeah, we need to get some.
Yeah.
and I don't have to document those, right? Those aren't considered rare to be documented.
No.
Okay.
No, and especially there's enough of them around. I'm not gonna. There was a period for a few years. When I first moved to Tulsa 30-some years ago, they were pretty regular, pretty common in winter, and then for several years they kind of disappeared. And but the last 10 or 12 years they've been showing up more regularly. So that's not something you need to document.
Okay.
At least not in the Tulsa area.
It sounds like they're getting them all over the state right now.
Yeah.
But it's been weird because people are reporting like what I have, females, very few males.
Well, this is either a female or an immature male, which they're almost identical.
Okay.
So a lot of, if we actually knew how many were adult females versus adult males, that might be more even, but a lot of them are immatures, either males or females. We don't know. But yeah, in general, the adult males are outnumbered by the female / immature males.
Okay.
Okay, and then I had a couple pictures of from if I can there. So a couple of there's Aileen at Flycatcher Trail.
Oh,
You get a better view of those who haven't been out there. Everybody here has been out to Flycatcher Trail.
Yep.
You can see
Oh.
that's Jenks High School complex there in the background. And just another neighborhood house, you know, so it's basically it's a house lot right adjacent to the school. That school had owned that lot and had torn the house down. Just another shot of Flycatcher. And here's the Purple Martin watch. And the place to be this year was the Clarion Inn. And here, let me, and share computer sound. Okay, here's the.
Yeah, the hotel had that.
This was out at the airport for those who might not know. That's where they've been roosting for the last several years. This is in August, just before they migrate south.
There's what, something over 100,000 birds.
Oops, I didn't mean to do that. How do I go? Okay, here's another video. Again, this is at the airport for those who haven't been there.
One big tree that they really.
Quite the spectacle.
Okay. I think that's it for pictures.
Right.
Very nice.
Very nice.
Very good. Enjoy. Thank you all. Thank you all.
Okay, well, drive home safely.
Right. Thank you.
Thing
Stay
we did
warm.
after the meeting.
Don't slip on the black ice on your way to the door.
You laugh. I saw a guy do that.
No.
He was Ryan, the guy that does river parks, was out along river parks with his drone flying, and this drone caught him falling and hitting. Fortunately, his head hit the snow instead of the sidewalk.
Oh no.
So, but his drone caught him going kersplat.
Mm.
Oh, no.
Yeah. So, but fortunately, he did hit the grass. His head hit the grass at least. His butt didn't, but
You could have used that for insurance.
I know.
Yeah, exactly.
So,
Yeah, sounds like something to send into the America's Funniest Videos or
Oh,
whatever.
no kidding.
yeah. So, yeah.
Okay, well,
Good to see y'all. Thanks.
All
see
right.
y'all. So
Holidays, everybody.
everybody have
Have a good day Saturday, everyone.
All right.
okay.
Thank you.
I will. Yeah, I'll add the Zoom link on the CBC count to the calendar entry too on the Audubon on the webpage. So
Okay.
Okay.
okay, thanks.
Thanks.
All right.
Bye.
Bye.
Night.
Night.
Bye.